You don't know everything about me. I've lived a lot of lives. Before I was an Avenger. Before I got this family. I made mistakes. Choosing between what the world wants you to be. And who you are. We have to go back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
My girls are the toughest girls in the world.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our rules.
It wasn't real.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Earth 2 CC review. It's your boy Mo Crosby. We are going to be reviewing Black Widow, Marvel's first theater release since 2019. I think Spider-Man Far From Home was the last Marvel movie to hit the theaters, and so Black Widow is the next to hit theaters. And so we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review right now for you today. Whether you're gonna pay for it at home or whether you're gonna see this movie in the theater with your friends, that's totally up to you. If you do a home watch, perfect. If you're gonna pay the $31 Disney Plus, do that. It's perfect. Your own screen, you can pause, you can go bathroom breaks, you can snack break, whatever. I like the option to do it that way, but theaters open again. I also like the option to go to the theater to go see the movie. Now, Black Widow stars, as you know, brings back Scarlett Johansson, our Black Widow from I think Iron Man 2 all the way through to Endgame. Co-stars Florence Pugh as her sister, quote unquote sister, co-stars co-stars Florence Pugh as her sister, co-stars David Harbour, co-stars Rachel Weisz. So I was really excited to see, when they put the cast together. I was really excited to see this movie. And again, Black Widow is a movie that I feel a lot of other people feel like should have happened years ago, decades ago, half a decade ago. And whether you feel that way, whether you don't, whether you feel like this is a perfect time for her to have a movie, this movie does one thing and one thing well. It delivers on the action. It delivers very, very well on the action. And I saw a review that said this is the best Marvel movie since I'm guessing we haven't had a lot of Marvel movies in the last year and a half almost. So yeah, best movie in the time period. But before I go into comparing this to other Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, let's go ahead and talk about this movie, in a spoiler-free version or a spoiler-free way. Natasha Returns. This movie really picks up after Civil War, right? The movie picks up after Civil War. Natasha's on the run from Ross. He's in this movie. Yes, General Ross is in this movie. She's on the run from them, and she's on the run from she's on the run. She goes back. She meets up a friend. He gives her some stuff, and she finds a way to get back home because there's a message in a bottle, kind of, sort of. I don't want to spoil the movie, but there's some sort of message or something that brings her back home or to some place that she's used, or a safe house or whatever. She gets there, she finds her sister, they talk about stuff they need to finish, and boom, the movie decides to open up from that point. Two things. If you've read the Red Room comic books or the Black Widow comics with the Red Room involved, you would understand where this movie is going. If you haven't, this is something new to you. Think of this as a Bond movie, a movie with a spy movie that we need to stop the villain who can control people and world. That's the movie, kind of like from this movie. It's a Bond movie. And so when I see that review that says this is one of the best Marvel Cinematic movies, I say to myself, another movie that I could say is one of the best cinematic Marvel Cinematic Universe movies is Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Why? Because it's a very grounded movie. It's an action movie that you could say, if it wasn't a comic book movie, what other genre does this movie fit into? And this movie, I've used movie Bond a couple times to describe this movie. If this wasn't a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, this could be a spy Jason Bourne type movie, Bond type movie, any one of those movies. It could fit into that universe perfectly. Actually could fit very well into Jason Bourne and Treadstone type movies, right? This movie could sit in that universe very well. And I like how they did that and how they pulled that into the Marvel Cinematic Universe using the Black Widow. So things that let me start with the things that I didn't like. Things that I didn't actually is one thing I didn't like, and in this movie is when it happens. And I'm not talking about when in the Marvel Cinematic Universe it happens. I'm talking about when in the real world that this movie occurs. This movie happens now, right? When I feel like this movie should have happened. This should have been the first movie after Civil War, because this movie happens after Civil War. In between that time, between Civil War to Infinity War, I feel like this should have been one of the movies that happened in between that Civil War space. Reason being is a lot of themes from this movie that carried all the way into Endgame. When Natasha gives up her life, you find out why. Where she gets her fit for Infinity War, you find out where in this movie. And I feel like the emotional pull of Natasha dying in Endgame would have been a greater emotional pull if she died, if you saw this movie and understand why she did what she did. And for that, I feel like we kind of got robbed a little bit because of that. But again, I'm not in any way, form saying that makes this movie bad, because it's not a bad movie. It's a funny movie. It delivers on the funny. David Harbour is kind of funny in this. Florence Pugh, my standout character, my standout cast member of Pugh, I believe, outside of Scarlett Johansson, she is the better. Uh, um, um, she is the better cast member in this movie outside of Scarlett Johansson. She's the second best character in this or actor in this movie to me. So Florence Pugh does really well. David Harbour does really well. Rachel Weisz, she's always getting anything I see, so I automatically, like, I'm a fan of hers. So yeah, what was I going before I got distracted by the characters? Yeah, it's a funny movie. It delivers on the funny. It delivers very well on the action. To me, it sits inside of, like, in terms of action, to me, this sits very well with um this in terms of action. To me, this actually is up to par with Captain America and the Winter Soldier. In a sense, it could be a 1A, 1B type comparison. If I was going to put this in the MCU, if I was going to compare the movies in the MCU, this is a 1A, 1B, Captain America, Winter Soldier, this movie. Honestly, you can give me all the hate you want in the comments, but this is my opinion, and that's why you are here watching this. What else? The action is fantastic. Cinematography is fantastic. The music in this is the music choices in this movie. The sound choices are very good. One thing, and so moving on to stuff that I did like, again, the acting I thought was phenomenal. The story is phenomenal. One thing I really, really loved about this movie, and again, take it how you want to, is she is not given a love interest. And I was like, thank you, God, because she doesn't need one in this movie. Two, I feel like sometimes when you throw that in certain movies, in certain female led movies, it takes away from the female character, from the strong female character in itself. It worked very well in the first Wonder Woman movie, as you could see, and it didn't in Wonder Woman 84, as you can see, as you've seen in that movie. In the fact they decided, hey, we're not doing this here. I felt like that was amazing. So really, really great choice not to give her love interest. The villain I enjoyed, as I said, Bond movie. So it's a very mustache twirly kind of villain. Again, it's just in a sense of, if you've read anything with Black Widow and in reference to the Red Room, that's the villain is kind of like the All Father, like the guy who created the Widow program and like sends them out to do things and to do missions. Yes. So again, enjoyed that. Enjoyed the villain. Enjoyed both Natasha. Anytime you had Natasha and Florence on screen, fantastic. The chemistry between the two of them was amazing. I loved seeing both of them together in every scene. I loved the chase scene that you've all seen in all the trailers. I loved, when the family kind of gets together. That scene was amazing. And what they do in terms of storytelling with the family, it's just amazing. You expect a spy thriller, a spy movie, a spy caper, but you get a very sweet family sister love kind of story in this one. And for that, again, very great decision. I loved it. What else am I missing? Action, direction. Direction was fantastic. This movie again works where it has to work. Directed by Kate Shortland. I believe Kate Shortland also directed what is she? Let me see. Well, give me a second. Yeah, she's done a couple movies. Somersault, Lore. I remember that one. Berlin Syndrome. She's done pretty good also television, but again, I feel like this is probably the one that's going to be the standout for her. It's a Marvel movie, so why not? But I love the direction of this movie. I also love how this movie, while it is an MCU movie, is its own movie. It's a standalone movie. So while this movie happens in the MCU, this movie can be its own. Like, you could take it out of the MCU, take the post-credit scene out, and this movie, and take the MCU references out of this movie. This movie is still a very fantastic movie. So this movie, which is why, again, with the movies that personally to me stand tall in the MCU, the Captain America and the Winter Soldier, you could take those references out and it's a very good movie on its own. Same thing with this movie. And again, I agree with the review that says this is one of the best Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. What else do I have for you guys? The post-credit scene was good, but also a head scratcher. And when we do a bigger discussion on the channel, we will talk about it, or probably Three Guys Rant. We'll rant about that. But again, a very, very interesting post-credit scene, and also a very head scratcher type post-credit scene. So all in all, Black Widow, A+ in my book. Go see it this weekend. Again, whether you want to see it Disney Plus premiere or you want to see it in person, you will enjoy it either way. It's a very, very good movie. Go see the movie. Go support the MCU. Go support the theaters, because the theaters are back. Thank you for reading. Thank you for watching this review. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you for listening. And we will catch you on the next Earth 2 CC reviews. It's been your boy Mo Crosby. Peace.
You don't know everything about me. I've lived a lot of lives. Before I was an Avenger. Before I got this family. I made mistakes. Choosing between what the world wants you to be and who you are. We have to go back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
My girls are the toughest girls in the world.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our rules.
It wasn't real.
It was real to me. To me, you were everything. son. She's such a mom. One thing's for sure. I'm done running from my past.